Hey everyone, my name is Charlie and today I'm going to talk about my top 5 series that got worse. First, I'm going to begin with the series that I've actually given away, and that is the Weather Warden series by Rachel Kane. This woman called Joanne, she does something with the weather and she ends up with a djinn and they're on the run in the first book, and then that story kind of culminates in the third book, and that's a trilogy that was okay. There are so many books in the series that as it goes along I just lost all interest in the character and just didn't care. But the Weather Warden series for me should have just been those first 3 books and just everything after that. If it had been left, I would have really enjoyed the series as a trilogy. And in my head, I think of those first 3 books and enjoy them. But in this really long, lengthy series, I just don't see the point of it. Next, I'm going with the Agatha Raisin series by MC Beaton. This is Agatha Raisin and a Spoonful of Poison, which is probably the 50,000th book in the series. I own and collect the Agatha Raisin books because they're easy to get through, and MC Beaton has created a character whose stories I enjoy to see, but this is a series that is over 20 books long now, and it doesn't seem to be ending anywhere soon. And the first book was so good that I went out and just bought loads straight away, and I was reading 3 in one day at one point because they were just that good and that easy to read. But there's also the problem that sometimes these books just read like synopses of what should be longer books, and I feel like if MC Beaton took more time writing one book than writing several, then it would be a series that had a lot more depth behind it, because at the moment it just feels like too much water has been added to the soup. Next we have the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. When I read this first book, I was enthralled. I was absolutely thrilled that this book exists, because it is urban fantasy, and I was a teenager at the time and it was exactly what I wanted to read. And then there was City of Ashes and City of Glass, and that trilogy to me is such a great trilogy and one that I love to just look at and read. And I've only reread it I think once or twice now, but I really enjoy the first 3 books because they are brilliant to me, and I enjoy the Infernal Devices as well, but I can't stand City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, or City of Heavenly Fire. Now they are books that I've given 5-star ratings to. I know, I was that person who, because it was Cassandra Clare, I thought I couldn't actually give any lower ratings. But to me, they just ruined the series. Or it took what this series had been, which had been, although there had been this romance and this intrigue, it wasn't all about the romance. And it made it all about the romance, and those last 3 books just feel like Cassandra Clare had amped up the romance and forgot that she was meant to be telling a story. And also, I never actually thought Sebastian was as good a villain as Valentine. What I like about Cassandra Clare is that she does include diverse characters within her books and characters from diverse backgrounds, and I appreciate that she's doing that and bringing that and talking about that within the young adult genre. However, I disliked Lady Midnight, and I said in my rant that I disliked it because it felt like a moneymaker. I can't say that because we're all, as writers, we're all trying to make money, and I don't write to make money. I write my books because I enjoy my books, and I enjoy writing my books, and I can't actually diminish what someone's doing because if they are writing for money, because that is their way of life and we're all trying to make money, so whatever we can do to make money we should be doing. Lady Midnight, my biggest problem with that was that it did focus on the relationship, and as I've said before, I don't actually tend to enjoy books that are so heavily focused on relationships. And also I really enjoyed the start of that book. It started off so well in that it felt different. It felt like it was going to be more of a murder mystery, and I have actually got rid of my copy of Lady Midnight, and I question whether I should go back and reread it without these thoughts that she was only trying to make money there. This is a series, that the Mortal Instruments series, without the Dark Artifices and the Infernal Devices, just the final 3 books in the Mortal Instruments series, to me, shouldn't exist because they just ruin what was a brilliant series. Next, I want to mention the Children of the Lamp series by P.B. Kerr. This is another book series that I think should have ended as a trilogy. The first 3 books are fantastic and they made me want to write children's books and they made me want to write about magic. In fact, after I read the second book, The Blue Djinn of Babylon, I went along and finally wrote my first children's book, and I think I must have been 12 or 13 at the time. The problem was the final few books. It became more about it being an adventure series, and there wasn't really any proper character growth or character progression, and things that had been in other books disappeared, and it wasn't as good as those first 3 books. The next series I'm going for is the Miss Marvel series. I really enjoyed the first 3 volumes of this, but the latest 2 have just been disappointing, as Kamala Khan doesn't really seem to be showing any growth, and this story's been going on for years at this point. I don't know what's going on. She's a great character and I enjoy reading, and I'm glad that Marvel has a Muslim superhero and that she's taking on this mantle of one of its greatest heroes, but so far I feel like she needs a bigger threat to be fighting against, and I really am so annoyed about the latest one where Iron Man came and saved her, because that really was stereotypically her knight in shining armour, and I can't get over it. So, them's the books. I'll leave all the information relating to Top 5 Wednesday down below, and if you've got any series that you think got worse over time, why don't you let me know what they were. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, that is all.